It's me, Baloney. This is music that got me through the day. I listened to 6 albums today. Here's what I thought of them. Once again, none of these albums are related. They're just random ones I either got recommended or felt like listening to. Thanks to Malcolm or Mac. I'm gonna guess you go by Mac for this recommendation. I really appreciate the recommendations on the last video. It made me so happy to see that. I didn't get to all of them today, but I will get to them over the next few videos, I promise. Leave me any more recommendations you have in the comments. I love seeing them. Anyways, I actually have heard I Didn't Mean to Haunt You before, but I didn't really have that much of an opinion on it. I listened to it again today and I loved it. Of course, this project has already been talked about a ton, so I'm just gonna say a few things. I like it as a concept album. While it's admittedly a bit cheesy that, ooh, he's a spooky ghost, it deals with very serious subjects that Quadeca handles well. He covers these topics in his lyrics, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. The instrumentals sound strange, and I mean that in the best way possible. His production is engaging because it tries something new and it still goes hard. I mean, while the album is a sad and depressing and emotional album, it doesn't mean Quadeca can't go hard. His vocals are really good, and I would say the mixing of his voice is a bit too distorted and does hurt the project a bit. Overall, production is excellent, vocals are good, can be cheesy at times, but deals with the sensitive topics well. It's a personal album for Quadeca, but it's one that I think appeals to many. 4 stars. Also, it's so funny that Danny Brown is one of the only features on here and he raps from the perspective of carbon monoxide. I don't think he fits in the song at all, but it's so absurd that it works.
The kingdom's on fire, the blood of a young messiah. I see sinners in a church, I see sinners.
Yeah, I played this album next. A weird contrast, but whatever. My friend Maya said she tried to listen to it, but she couldn't stand the British accent, which is hilarious. But personally, I could get through the fact that Little Simz is British. Sorry. And yeah, it's awesome. I look at a lot of these albums that I hear are good, and they end up being good, and now I feel basic for having this opinion. Little Simz is a versatile rapper, and she takes advantage of her versatility throughout. The production is also a highlight. It's grand at times, and I'm definitely a fan of the sampling. I swear the samples on each of these songs just fit perfectly. Simz works around them well too. I think this part is actually what makes the album a bit weaker, in my opinion though. It does rely heavily on these samples, but the samples are done so well. It's also another personal type album for the artist. It's a lot about looking inwards, looking at her strengths and weaknesses. It's contemplative and contains some good socially conscious lyrics. I also appreciate the Amy Winehouse reference in Introvert. Let's go! The interludes seem a little cringe sometimes and mess up the pacing of the LP a bit. Still, sometimes I might be Introvert is Little Simz showing off her lyrical and technical skills over some nice ass beats. 4 stars. My allegiance, my demons will look for sin like junkies feeling fiendish. The meanest streets I walk in. I don't know what you want me to say. This album slaps. We're 3 for 3 on contemplative personal albums here. Denzel Curry is excellent at flowing with the instrumentals. I'd be lying if I say I read every lyric on these LPs I listen to. I listen to so many a day, but from what I did pick up, I really enjoyed his self-awareness on here, especially in the first song. God, just thinking about this album, I want to play it again. I guess this is one where I really don't have much to say. It's an extremely solid hip-hop album with Denzel going hard while simultaneously being honest and reflective. 4 stars. I gotta listen to the rest of Denzel's catalog, goddamn. Just nod your head and get up. So another recommendation from my friend Maya. I heard this a while ago and I was like, what the fuck? This is a trippy and just like chilling album. I decided to revisit it today for whatever reason, and I definitely enjoy it more. I don't know much about I don't know much about FKA Twigs or whatever, but her voice sounds beautiful on here. It's haunting. It sounds like a ghost or phantom or something, but she's just singing about sex all the time. Yeah, it's a very like romantic and sensual album, which is a bit weird to listen to during math class, but whatever. The instrumentals are really bizarre too, but it does sound amazing. It's another LP that tries something different and succeeds. It's really catchy at times too. It's interesting when music is super weird and yet still manages to get stuck in your head. Her voice is basically immaculate at all times, and the sounds are strange at all times. It shouldn't work, but it works, and it works really well. Not exactly my thing, but still an excellent album. 3 stars. So I had my first case of choice paralysis at this point. Before this point, I just saw something and put it on, and this time I started some albums and didn't finish them, but I finally ended up choosing this Mac Miller album, and it was that guy Malcolm's profile pic that reminded me of this. Thanks, Mac. I haven't listened to much Mac Miller. I've really only heard some songs off Circles, which I did really like, and I gave Swimming a chance. And it's good. It's really good. I really like the sound of Mac's voice on here. When he sings and raps, it sounds unique and it works well. He shows weakness and vulnerability on Swimming, which is generally the overall theme, and the beats are so smooth. I've run out of adjectives, so I'm just gonna say they're great. I guess they're fun and they're just clean. Mac Miller's voice and style just seems to fit well in them too. It's hard to imagine anyone else rapping over these and sounding as good. The album is just chock full of bangers. It's one of those sound good albums. 4 stars. So I did this last video too. The final album I did was one I technically listened to the day before, and I've heard this one a million times, so I figured it'd be good to put on. And I remember it being incredible, but I don't remember it being this good. After going through my phase of listening on loop a million times to this album, I added most of the songs to my playlist, then I continued hearing it mostly from that, and I think the experience is really meant as a full album, but these songs still stand damn well on their own. Kendrick tells a meaningful, important, and emotional story about when he was a teenager, while skipping between the present day with some interludes to break it up. The story he tells is intense, and he tells his very personal tale through the medium of music almost perfectly. The topics he covers on here are covered beautifully. The production is great too. It gets better on later Kendrick albums and sounds a bit dated now, but still, the features are consistently great too. Even Drake sounds good on this album. I love Anna Wise's voice. It's always a treat to have her in a Kendrick song, and it's cool that he's continued the collaboration into To Pimp a Butterfly. In the end, Good Kid, Mad City means something, says it well, and sounds great in the process, which is a lot better than most music can do. It's a masterpiece. It's been talked about so much already, but I listened to it and wanted to mention it. 5 stars, that's the second one so far. Alright, that's it for today. A very hip-hop heavy day. I listened to other music, I promise. I just want to say I greatly appreciate the warm response to my last video. It felt good waking up and seeing all the comments. Leave more recommendations for me, please. I like having a big catalog of them. Make sure you subscribe. Only 98% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. Turn on those notifications too. I have 2 other videos on my channel like this so far, so for sure check them out if you like this one and haven't seen them. I said I wasn't going to be doing this daily forever, and I think I'm going to stop now. It just takes too much of one day. I'd rather have quality over quantity as well, but I'm still proud of the videos I've made so far. It's really fun for me to do. I listen to a lot of random albums, so it's nice to just throw my thoughts on them all in one video. I've got other ideas for videos too, so I'll try to balance this series with other music related videos. Next video will probably be Friday. See you there, hopefully.